Hey guys, welcome to the first ever video on my new YouTube channel on finance and everything investing. My name's Dave, and for my first video I figured I would just talk a little bit about who I am as a person and as an investor, talk a little bit about the type of content and videos I see myself making here in the future and what kind of channel it's going to be. So yeah, just a little bit about myself. My name's Dave. I am 33 years old. Got started in investing around the ages of maybe 20 to 22. So I've been doing this, I guess, over 10 years now. It was kind of a gradual process, really. I was pretty lucky in that growing up, my mom made it a bit of a focus to teach us about money from a young age, which I think is way too lacking in the school system. You know, we have all sorts of classes, but they don't really talk about budgeting and investing nearly enough when it can make such a huge difference to your life. But anyway, so she would do things growing up like buy all three of her kids a little bit of Canada savings bonds when we were young. We were probably only like 9 or 10 or something like that. And she would tell us about how it was going to increase in value by a set amount every year, a certain percent of interest, and you know, give us regular updates on how those bonds were doing, which is always interesting. And then later on, as we got a bit older, she bought each of us a different mutual fund. And she would tell us the name of the fund and you know, how they were performing. She regularly check in, and it turned into a bit of a competition for me where I was always excited and wanted to outperform my siblings because I was competitive that way, even though I really should have been rooting for us all to win. Looking back, those are probably pretty high feed mutual funds, but things have changed a lot since then. So anyway, that really got me excited about it and interested in it, taught me about how compounding money is important, and the earlier you start makes a massive difference in how much you will eventually end up with. So that was a huge lesson for me that I hope others can take from this channel at some point. In terms of my day job, I do work every day in the IT field. Just a steady job. Used to be an office job, although now everyone's working from home. My profile as an investor is that I'm pretty comfortable with risk. So, you know, if you're a risk adverse person, know that going in, and don't try to copy some of the trades I make. It's completely fine to, you know, set your sights on something that's a bit more stable, a bit less stressful maybe, and especially if you have different goals, like maybe saving for your first house, you might not want to risk all that on, you know, a risky growth stock that may not be making profits yet. So I do enjoy investing in tech and growth mostly. Also still hold a basket of ETFs with low fees that kind of hold the whole market, are a bit of a couch potato portfolio, and intend to keep holding them going forward as a way to sort of stabilize the portfolio, so I don't have to worry about these volatile times when you do go through them, like right now, and kind of have that to fall back on. So in terms of net worth, I'm not one of these big YouTube millionaires you may see out there, but I'm pretty proud of how I've done, and I've mainly done that from staying home with my parents a few years after graduating while working, really focusing on building up that nest egg, keeping my expenses low, and saving the money early so that I could invest it and allow it to compound quicker, which going forward makes a huge difference. So also did have a bit of help from my parents in terms of, you know, paying for tuition, things like that. So obviously I was very lucky in that regard as well. My reasons for investing are that I'm looking for freedom, financial freedom, I suppose you might say. Not so much retiring early, although I know that's big in the online community these days. I don't see myself retiring completely, but I do like the idea of having the freedom to know that if I were to somehow get fired, I don't have to worry about, money while I'm looking for a new job. It would really take the stress out of it. Or maybe if I want to take some time off and travel, see the world, I could do that and go on a sabbatical and not have to worry about the finances. Otherwise, things like maybe I get tired of this career and there's another industry that sounds interesting to me. If I wanted to pursue that and maybe start at the bottom somewhere else, or even re-educate myself in a new field, I wouldn't have to worry about the money factor in making that decision. So I'm really pursuing growing my money in order to not have to care about my money in a funny sort of way. But I think it's just a great comfort for everyone to not have that stress in their lives. So that's what I'm shooting for. And also, I just really enjoy it. So, if you're having a good time doing it, it makes it a lot better. If you don't enjoy it, then you're just not going to spend the time on it that you need. And if you don't enjoy it, that's fine. You should probably just do what I did at the start, which was hold a basket of low fee ETFs that kind of track the entire market, and you'll probably get 6-7% a year on average, which is fine and will compound over time, and you'll do okay. But for me, I enjoy doing this sort of thing, and I have been actively investing much more closely in individual stocks as well as options and things like that. So the reason for the channel is, one, it'll be a fun little investment diary that I can track the trades that I've made, go back, look at what I was thinking at the time, see how I learn, and just follow my trades. Also, I think it will really push me to do more research and more thoroughly look into the companies I invest in. If I'm going to make a YouTube video on the topic, then I'm going to have to do the work as opposed to just kind of YOLO into any company that I think sounds interesting, which I was guilty of at a few points in the past and really didn't go so well for me, and generally doesn't for people. So if it pushes me in that direction, the more the better. And if other people watch and enjoy it, that's great. Also, I just really want to get more involved in the YouTube community. I've been watching a ton of videos from finance content creators, and they're great. There's so many great people out there that I've learned a lot from and gotten great investment ideas from. People like Dave Lee, Emmett Peppers, Chicken Genius Singapore, Jeremy from Financial Education. There's a Tom Nash is another good one. There's a lot of great guys out there, and I'd love to just get involved in any sort of small way. Even people in the comment sections, there's a lot of actually well thought out comments in there once you dig through it. I know there's sometimes spam and stuff like that, but if I can engage with other people of common interests, learn some new things, and have some interesting discussions, that's really the goal here. So likely not looking to make the channel a huge thing. I don't think I'll be selling any courses, posting a ton of affiliate links, things like that. It's more about meeting people, making friends, having interesting discussions, and removing the stigma around talking about money, because that's one big thing is in my day-to-day life, I just don't feel comfortable talking about it with friends and acquaintances, which I think is a real shame, because how are you supposed to learn about it if you don't talk about it? And there's almost like this taboo about it. Don't say how much money you have, how much money you're making. And then you don't really know that if you dive into the market, you can make a ton of money out there. I know some people through work, through school, just very smart people, probably smarter than I am, being honest with you, but they've never been exposed to this sort of thing. And just think, it's pretty normal, sort of living paycheck to paycheck, paying your rent, spending the rest on whatever you feel like, and then you'll have more money next month. And that's fine if it works for them, I suppose, but I think there's another way that will make your money work for you and remove a lot of stress from your life. And if we talk about these things openly, if more people can get better with their money, if even one person watches my videos and gets encouraged to invest and improves their financial situation, I think it'll all be worth it. So if this stuff sounds like something you might be interested in going forward, I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing, and I'll have new content for you soon. Thanks. Bye.